Hey folks, on today's video I want to talk about what is whole food plant-based eating. Whole food plant-based eating. Let's get to it. Hey there, my name is Mike Thomas. I'm a health coach, board certified. I help people to lose weight by incorporating more plants into their diet. A couple of weeks ago, I was presenting on whole food plant-based and lifestyle and medicine to a number of people. And at the very end of the presentation, after I'd gone on and on about whole food plant-based eating, sure enough, there was a question. A woman raised her hand and said, "So what exactly is whole food plant-based eating?" So I wanted to take some time, obviously, to explain to the group that I wasn't clear enough with what that was, because I wasn't. I always take for granted when people hear that, because I've known about it and been entrenched in it for 7 or 8 years now. Everybody knows about it. And the reality is a lot of people have never heard of the term before, and it's a little bit confusing and such. So I really just wanted to take a few minutes today and talk about what whole food plant-based eating is, try to clear up some confusion, and also talk about what it is not. So what it is not, let's jump into that first. So whole food plant-based eating, just by the name itself, is not eating animal products, or at least minimizing animal products. And the same thing with processed foods, right? So we don't have those additional chemicals, preservatives, salt, oil, sugar that's added to our food. You really eat the food in its natural state. And obviously I'm going to talk about what whole food plant-based eating is in this presentation. However, I want to talk a little bit about what it's not, to try to clear up some of the misconceptions of whole food plant-based eating. So it's not eating animal products, or at least minimizing. It's not eating processed foods, or at least minimizing. And full disclosure, I eat animal products and I eat processed foods, and I think every one of my clients does as well. It's just a significantly less portion than it used to be for me. So the average American, 10% of their calories come from plants, fruits, and vegetables, etc. There's a significant opportunity to raise that number. For me, that number is probably around 80 to 90% coming from whole plant foods. Many of my clients as well, and getting some good outcomes because of that. So what is whole food plant-based not? First of all, it's not a diet, right? A lot of people think about it as, okay, this is how I'm going to eat. I want to lose weight. I want to lower my cholesterol. I want to feel better. I want to be more regular, all those things that come to play when we eat more plants. It's actually not a diet. It's a lifestyle, right? And it's a sustainable lifestyle at that. If you look at it as a diet to lose weight, certainly, obviously, you can lose weight. In fact, my coaching, what I do is I help people lose weight by pursuing this. But many of them find out at the end of the coaching sessions that this is very sustainable. This is very practical. This is actually very enjoyable. So it's not a diet. It's also not eating boring, stale, bland food that you eat all the time on a consistent basis. So like eating salads all the time. When I first started in January of 2017, I thought that's what it was. I thought this was about eating salad. Now, I was pretty desperate back then, because back then I literally thought I was going to be dying of a heart attack because of the genes on my mom's side of the family. So for me, I was going to eat salad 24/7. I didn't have a health coach. I didn't have anybody teaching me how to do this. So I struggled in the beginning because I thought that's what it was. But it really opened my eyes to a lot of the wonderful variety of foods that are offered in plant-based eating. It's also not about eating a small amount of food. A lot of people consider that, okay, if you're going to go the plant route, you're obviously eating like a bird, and you're going to eat a small amount of food. You're probably going to be miserable. You're probably going to be hungry the whole time. It couldn't be further from the truth. I did this for about a year, and a number of my friends would come up to me and say, "I can't believe you're still doing that. Man, that must really take a lot of energy. That must take a lot of discipline." And the reality is, when I got to about the 3rd or 4th month, I kind of had my routine down. I knew what to eat. I was enjoying it, and it really wasn't hard. And again, I can go off and have animal products from time to time, or have some processed foods from time to time as well, and my fair share of sweets. But the reality is, most of the time I'm really fueling my body with healthy whole plant foods, and it is actually enjoyable. So it's not about being hungry all the time or eating small amounts of food. That's also a misnomer as it relates to plant-based eating. In fact, if you're hungry on a consistent basis, you're probably not eating enough food. So if you like to eat food and you like to eat food that tastes good, that you enjoy, this is also a route that you can go because you eat an abundance of this food. And then when you're full, you stop eating. It's oversimplified, but that's actually how it works. Many of the foods that I'm getting ready to describe, which are in fact whole food plant-based foods, don't have labels typically, like apples and pears and bananas and cucumbers, etc. A lot of the labels aren't there, which is kind of cool. So let's get to the heart of it. What is whole food plant-based eating? The short of it is fruits and vegetables, whole grains, legumes and beans, and nuts and seeds, right? In their natural form. And how you combine those, which is actually important to know, helps you as you consume this food to make it sustainable. So a few things about some of those categories and those pillars. So fruits. Fruits are high in fiber, high in nutrients. Every one of these is high in fiber and high in nutrients. It can help lower cholesterol. It's been now shown that regular consumption of fruits can help reduce the risk of chronic disease. So that's the first one, fruits. So one small step that relates to fruit that can help you and support you in your capacity to get more is just put a fruit bowl on the counter, right? You put a fruit bowl on the counter that's got some apples and some bananas and some oranges on it. The chances that you're going to consume fruit is going to be considerably greater in helping you to prevent chronic disease. Just that one simple step. And then, of course, keeping it full. So let's move on to vegetables. Vegetables, just like fruits, has a great deal of nutrients, minerals, vitamins, etc. Lots of fiber, just like all the plant foods have. No cholesterol, no saturated fats. So that's a huge plus as it relates to the vegetables. But the other thing that's unique about vegetables is it's low in fat, which can help that person that's interested in actually losing weight. A couple simple steps that you can take to consume more vegetables is have a small salad once a day. Could be before lunch, could be before dinner. Get that fiber and get those vegetables in. You can also have a spinach smoothie, which basically has a ton of spinach and a ton of fruit and maybe some plant-based non-sweetened milk as well. So that's a great way to get some great non-starchy vegetables in, as well as some fruit. So beans and legumes is the third pillar of the whole food plant-based lifestyle. Beans, legumes, obviously black beans, pinto beans, tons of different kinds of beans. In fact, people talk about having the same thing all the time because of your plant-based eating. In reality, there's over 100 different kinds of beans, which comes with different tastes and different textures. So there's lots of opportunity with beans to add variety. The other thing also about beans that I want to share with you is the protein piece. People are always struggling with, how are you getting your protein? You have plenty of protein you can get with all kinds of plant foods, but beans are packed with protein, can help you and support you in your health and wellness goals. Whole grains is number 4 as far as a category goes. Again, rich in fiber, rich in nutrients. So those are a given. But the other thing that's really cool about whole grains, it's now been proven that regular consumption of whole grains like brown rice can help reduce the risk of heart disease, which is the number 1 killer in America. So a huge plus and a huge shout out goes to whole grains. And the last pillar is the nuts and seeds. So ironically, nuts and seeds, which again, tons of great fiber and tons of great nutrients, these have a little bit more calories, but ironically with nuts and seeds, they actually can help you with weight management because they can help with satiety in a pinch between meals if you want to grab a handful. Not a whole box or a whole bag or a whole jar of nuts and seeds, but just a handful can help you great with, ironically, weight loss as well. So I mentioned there's ways that you can combine a lot of these foods to make them more healthy and have them as meals, right? And sometimes when I talk to people and tell them what I do as a coach, what I do in my lifestyle as it relates to fuel in my body, they're always wanting recipes. So what I've done is in the description of this video, I've put a link for a number of different great recipes that you can check out and look at as well. So the last couple things I want to say about whole food plant-based eating. So that's what I do. I help people convert to plant-based eating to the degree that makes sense for them. A lot of times it's somebody that says, I really want to go about 80% plant-based eating or 90% or 50% plant-based eating. Again, 10% of the calories in America come from plants. So if you go from 10% to 50%, there's some outcomes and some benefits that you can substantially get because of that, weight loss being one of those. If you'd like to know more about me and what I do, feel free to look at the links that are in the description of this video. I've got a link there about me, and I've also got a link there to set up a conversation with me. What I want to do is help and support you with your health and wellness goals, right? That could be a free conversation for 30 minutes with no obligation. My goal in that conversation is not to sell to you. My goal in that conversation is to find out where you are and where you want to go and to give you support and how you can get there. That could be coaching from me in my one-on-one coaching sessions or in my group coaching program coming up. Or it could just be you want some resources, which is fine as well. Because my mission and my purpose here is twofold. The first thing is I want to get information out so people are aware of this lifestyle, whole food, plant-based eating, and quite frankly, lifestyle medicine in general, which is also more movement, getting better sleep, having excellent social connections, reducing stress, and minimizing substances like tobacco and alcohol. So I want to get information out. That's the first thing that I really want to do. The second thing I want to do is I've created a vehicle, whether that's one-on-one coaching or group coaching. I also have a free Facebook group that supports people in their pursuit of better health and wellness, right? So it's both of those things. So the social media presence I have and what's going on with YouTube, as well as the coaching, are the two areas that I really want to hit up upon. Again, more information in the description of this video. That's it for now. I appreciate you watching all the way through this video. If this is something that's appealing to you, feel free to like it, share it, even subscribe if that works for you as well. Appreciate it, and God bless.